Yeah. So you have the game, you have the ads, and the other thing that completes the trifecta is the halftime show, which also brings in a lot of viewers too. And so this year it's Bad Bunny doing the halftime show, and maybe you can talk about this, Yvonne, because there's been a little bit of controversy around him, and
Why? Because I'm Latino? What's going on, man?
because I
No,
know
no,
that you
I'm kidding.
care,
don't know.
you've
You're
spoken
talking
about
about
it.
the suicidal
Yeah.
tendencies card there, like the button up thing, the bandana, just straight out of like central casting of stereotype.
No, I mean it's been a thing. It's a whole situation, but I think it's more based on the political climate right now. He's not the first Latino to do it. Shakira and Jennifer Lopez again a couple of years ago had their halftime show. It was really cool. So it's more of a political climate right now in the States.
But I think it's also, and again, some of the smartest people I know are Americans. Like I don't, not everybody is, but I think it's also that a lot of people may not know that he's from Puerto Rico,
Oh
first of
God,
all,
that
and Puerto
conversation.
Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think some of it. Now, can I ask you something? Just again, I
Yep.
love, I lived in Madrid. Every time I go to whether it's Mexico or Argentina, I love it. I'm like these. Not that these are my people. I'm not crazy, but I like nothing but respect.
Don't pull out the I have a Latino friend so I can talk
No,
about
I have a
card.
Latino friend. I only use that for gays and black people. I'm kidding.
There you go. Perfect. Got it.
Totally wrong. No, but I do have a question. How much is it that he doesn't sing in English, right? Because Shakira, right? He has no songs in English, or he does
No songs in English. He has no
So,
songs in English. Yeah.
so I look. I said it. I think some of it is the Puerto Rico ignorance, naivete that it is an American territory. I think some of it is the climate, but how much of it is the fact that he doesn't sing in English? And then is that a fair thing? Because we just spent some time saying that this is America's biggest thing. And I'm like, okay, if you're X% of the American population, like Shakira comes and shakes her thing and we love her. And J-Lo is J-Lo.
No, and she sings in English. Like Shakira very much has songs in English. Yeah. I mean, with Bad Bunny, I think it's two things. Part of the accolades of him is that he is maybe the biggest Spanish speaking artist right now in the States, right? His fame is basically it's based mostly in the States. In Latin America, he's good, he's known, he's not the best, right? In Latin America.
Not to get the best. Is he as popular outside of America as
No,
inside of America?
he is not. He is not. I mean, here in Mexico, a lot of people dislike him, like overall.
Because what they say he's a sellout?
No, not really. It's just we have so much. We have so much of almost kind of like the same music here, and so many artists like in Spanish and stuff like that. So overall, over there, you could compare it to something like a K-pop kind of feeling, and the it's more exotic, and people are enjoying these Latin beats a little bit more, and he's very much an embodiment of that, of those beats and everything like so. To say that they're ostracizing like 50% of the population because he's only singing in Spanish, I think it's kind of disingenuous because a lot of people speak Spanish in the States and it's just one part of the population, So I don't know. Again, I think it's more that, and when you boil it down to that conversation of he's not American, but he is from Puerto Rico, which is an American territory, is very much again going back to kind of like the climate of things right now. Because he's not the first, he won't be the last, and he'll probably bring on guests that sing in English. And Green Day is opening the Super Bowl, right? And they are very much American band. I think it's that. I think it's mostly that. And I mean, kudos to I don't like all his decision, but kudos to Goodell right now because he was asked about this, and Bad Bunny took a stand against ICE like most people did at the Grammys and stuff like that. He's like, well, Bad Bunny very much represents a lot of what's going on right now, a lot of the sentiment, and he can probably very much catered to both sides of the aisle on here. So he's going to do a great show. And I completely agree. He is very much a showman. He's very much a really cool artist, a very successful artist. And I think that's what they look for at the Super Bowl halftime, So I don't know. I think he's going to do great.
It's funny though, and I don't disagree. I appreciate the conversation. And I ask questions not necessarily that I feel it. It's just to get, not just agreeing like nice Canadians. You said you gave props to Commissioner Goodell, and I agree. I mean, it was ultimately his decision. But isn't Jay-Z isn't he the producer, I think, of the halftime show? Or am I mixing it up?
I don't think he is. I think he did one Super Bowl when he I think it was a couple of Super Bowls ago when he brought in Snoop Dogg and him and all them. Yeah, I'm not really sure though. I'm not really sure because remember they went from Pepsi to Apple, and then right now I don't know who's producing it. Yeah.
Okay. No, because it's funny giving props to Roger Goodell again. Merits, not a problem. But I remember the first time somebody on the web mentioned that. They're like, Jay-Z, but you're right. He might not be the producer anymore. So we can move on. Okay. All right. Moving along.
You also had sent us a link, Yvonne, about this Turning Point USA alternative Super Bowl halftime show with Kid Rock, which seems to be catering to, I presume, all the people who are upset about the Bad Bunny performance.
Yes.
So,
yes, it is. I mean,
what's your take on that?
I think one of our teammates said it best, Tyler. It's like, and again, this is very personal. I think it's just ignorant and a really bad take on the whole thing. Because if they want to get, it's very much based on just like xenophobia and racism, and that's what it is. Because they got 4 white people to sing country music, and Kid Rock is not the best representation of American values, if you ask me. You know, he's sung about underage women and all, you know, really, really bad song before. So I don't think that's the way to go, you know, but it is just basically like they don't speak Spanish, and that makes it all American to them. That's my take.
The word's not weird. Like not irony, like it's not but like the thing about it is that if it wasn't Turning Point, like nobody else would. I'm not knocking it. I mean, it's a free world. America's free. People should do what they want. But like nobody else really would have objected to the point of saying we're going to do a separate show to purposely, make a statement. And then so once it's them, well, then you can't make it, even though you're like I'm not saying that they're for unity, but it's like you can't then invite certain people because to make the point, you got to go get certain artists that resonate. So that's the only thing I find a bit weird. And my takeaway is just a diplomat, and people criticize me because they're like, you're both siding a thing. And yeah, I do. It's because people got to get along. Like you guys may disagree. The only way we work together is if I focus on what you agree on, like whether we like it or not. But I'm like, I understand though that like there could have been another act at the halftime show, and then it would have probably prevented all this. This is where sometimes I go, put yourself in the shoes of others. If you're going to have a unilingual Spanish artist who's not even American, I'm kidding. Then I'm like, maybe if you have somebody else open up, and I know they added Green Day, and I'm not saying, but I'm just saying like sometimes, I always go like people make criticisms and sometimes they're not even right. Sometimes they're wrong. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you could foresee things happening. So then you're like, well, did you want this scandal because it helps and all that? So it's hard to really like objectively talk about it because you also go like, well, it's not really a surprise given the climate, as much as it's wrong. I'm like, it's kind of like, I think this was almost like choreographed.
I mean, it probably goes to like the new audience also of the NFL. You were talking about the evolving audience, and they are bringing a lot of new, like young people are bringing in a lot of women as well to the NFL, and they're bringing out a lot of other countries. So that's another thing I think you got to contend with when choosing your artists and when choosing people. So if they're already in hot water with Bad Bunny, then you bring in Green Day, which they are not that friendly to anything American right now. I think it's more of that social statement and trying to take, that stance instead of bringing somebody else in, because they did last year, and they did a couple of years back where they brought in country people, like people who could sing country and stuff like that. But I think the end.
I know what you mean.
Country artists, let's say. Country music artists. They do that, and then I think I give props to Goodell before, but right now I think sometimes they overcorrect and they do it in a way that seems very weird because nobody stood up for Kaepernick, for example, when that happened, and all of a sudden now all the helmets say hope and love and unity and stuff like that. So they tend to overcorrect. It could be that as well. But I think within that, you do give props to people for, or like to them, to at least try and bring in new voices to the conversation, I guess.
Yeah, you mentioned more women being attracted to football now. How much do you think Taylor Swift is responsible for that over the past couple of years?
Hey, listen, from what I know, she is a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. One, so that's cool. She happened to marry into a football family, and that conversation always seemed ridiculous to me. People complaining that she's always on screen. She had like 8 seconds of screen time, like average, during the games.
But
And
it's
you
all
have
people
to
could
show
talk
her.
about.
Exactly. It's all people could talk about. Then focus on the games then, if you don't want to see her. I don't know. I think it's that conversation, and people can go to extremes, and that's it. But I completely love having Taylor Swift, because it gives people something else to talk about during the games. It gives her something else to talk about also, because she is a huge football fan. So,
It's
and it gives the
entertaining.
conspiracy theorists something to talk about too, because the Chiefs made it to like what, 2 or 3 Super Bowls with Taylor Swift in the audience.
I think it's just one. I
Was
think
it
it
just
just
one?
made it to one, and they lost to Philadelphia, or to two, and then they won one and lost one to Philadelphia, and that was it. They didn't do anything else this year, and this year they were getting married, so this would have been the year for them to make it
This
to
would
the
have been
Super
the
Bowl.
year.
So it kind of cancels out, I guess.
Do you guys have a favorite halftime show performance from your memories?
Prince, Purple Rain,
Prince?
in the rain. I mean, when it started to rain, and I find, I'm sure when we did top 10 best solo outros, again, I was very democratic, but I wouldn't be surprised if Purple Rain Prince was number one. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful ones. So to me, that one probably stands out.
A lot of people go to Michael Jackson. I'd probably agree on that one, but of the latest ones, I enjoyed a lot. I don't know. I think the Rihanna concert was really cool. Of the latest ones, I think. But yeah,
Well,
I think
the
so.
one, the one in LA, was it LA or Vegas? But like where it was like a rap, it looked like a rap video.
LA.
Like that
Yeah.
production one, and I think that's the one my Bengals, the other team, I like. That's the side. It's like, oh, balance and justice. You're a Bengals fan, so eternal hell and damnation. But now you get to become a Pats fan because of this chosen one, Tom Brady, and all you do is win. No, I thought that production-wise, I was like, yeah,
that was really
cool. But again, that moment just with Prince in the ring to me is chef's kiss.
Yeah.